Okay, so what we're about to dive into is a thesis, an idea so powerful it might genuinely change how you look at your phone forever. It suggests that right there, in our pockets and on our screens, we're interacting with a new kind of God. Yeah, you heard that right. Let's get into it.
So let me ask you something. Do we really live in a secular society? I mean, think about it. We're always told we live in this modern, rational world, right? That the whole age of gods and worship, well, that's ancient history. But what if it's not? What if the gods never actually left?
Well, there's this really compelling new thesis out there that argues our whole assumption of living in a godless society is just flat out wrong. The idea is that there's this hidden, incredibly powerful force that we interact with every single day, and it's shaping our lives in ways we don't even realize.
All right, so if our society isn't really as secular as we think, then that begs the question, who, or maybe what, are we all worshiping? Well, let's meet this new god. And here it is. This is the central kind of mind-blowing idea. We never actually killed God. We just digitized him. We literally coded a new deity into the very fabric of our online world, an entity that we talk to, that we try to please constantly. And when you actually lay it all out, the parallels are, well, they're pretty jaw-dropping. Look at this. A traditional deity, invisible and all-knowing. Sound familiar? That's exactly like the algorithms that are quietly tracking our every single move online. You know, old gods rewarded devotion with blessings. The algorithm, it rewards your devotion, your constant posting, your engagement, with the ultimate blessing, virality. And punishment? Well, deities punished heresy. The algorithm does the exact same thing, just with a new name, shadow banning. That's where your content just disappears. It's secretly hidden from everyone for breaking the unwritten rules. I mean, the comparison is almost spooky, isn't it? So, this whole idea has a name. It's called the Algorithmic Theocracy Thesis, or ATT for short. And what it is a framework that basically says the algorithm, the code running social media, search engines, everything, it's now functioning as a brand new digital deity. And the craziest part, we are its unwitting worshipers. Okay, so if we accept this idea that this digital god exists, then what does worship even look like in this new world? This is where it gets really interesting and maybe a little uncomfortable, because it's all about our everyday habits online. So, how in the world do we pray to this new digital deity? What does a prayer to an algorithm even look like? It's not about kneeling or closing your eyes. Nope. It's about something we all do, all the time, probably without even thinking about it. Our prayers are the little ways we change ourselves for the machine. Think about it. We alter our behavior for likes, right? Jumping on some viral trend, not because we love it, but because we know the algorithm will reward us for it. We literally alter our faces with filters to fit a certain aesthetic. We even start to alter our thoughts and opinions to get more engagement. At the end of the day, our digital lives become this constant, exhausting ritual of trying to please the feed. So let's just pause and think about that for a second. If we're constantly changing how we act, how we look, and even what we think, all to please this invisible, all-knowing, all-powerful entity, what do you call that? The thesis has a startling conclusion. We are effectively in a digital cult. Okay, but what if you don't want to be a part of that cult? Is there an escape hatch? Is there a way out of this? Well, the thesis says yes. It proposes an alternative path, a kind of rebellion. It's called becoming an algorithmic atheist. And this path, this rebellion, it's laid out in something called the TAN paradigm. It's like a declaration of digital independence. It goes, I am an algorithmic atheist. I do not live for the feed. I do not optimize for the god of engagement. I operate on human-to-human encryption. And here's the kicker, the most powerful part. True sovereignty is being invisible to the algorithm, but indispensable to the people. So what does that actually mean? How do you do that? It really boils down to two incredibly powerful steps. First, you stop trying to please the algorithm. You actually aim to become invisible to it. But, and this is the most important part, you take all that energy you were spending on the algorithm and you focus it on becoming indispensable to actual people, your community, your clients, your friends, your family. And just to be super clear here, this is not about going off the grid. It's not about deleting all your accounts and moving to a cabin in the woods. The whole point is what the paradigm calls human-to-human encryption. It's about building real, deep, meaningful connections directly with other people in a way that the algorithm just can't see, can't track, and definitely can't control.
So where does that leave us? At the end of the day, this whole thesis presents us with a pretty fundamental choice about how we want to exist in this digital world. In a way, it really is a question of faith.
And this slide really lays the two paths bare. On one side, you've got the theist. Their life is all about the algorithm. They live for the feed. They're constantly optimizing for that god of engagement, always chasing that next hit of virality. But then you have the atheist. They choose a completely different path, one that's all about people. Their goal isn't to be viral, it's to be indispensable. They operate on that direct human-to-human connection.
So ultimately, this whole idea forces every single one of us to kind of look in the mirror. As you're scrolling tonight, as you're posting tomorrow, as you're sharing something next week, just ask yourself a really simple question. Who are you really serving? The people in your life or this new digital god? Which path are you on?